y'all, welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a couple of days and I'm not even gonna lie to you, I struggle with being consistent, and so this is just a way for me to be accountable and to do what I've always wanted to do, which is to make YouTube content and basically do what I always wanted to do and to stick with it, because I am one of those people that where things aren't going the way that I want it to go, I end up giving up really easily and quickly. And it's a slow progress. So bear with me as I pump out this content. I do want to get out more content, but it's hard because, I don't want to put too much pressure on me. I want this to remain fun and not like it's a job, because I see so many content creators, they, become full-time content creators, and I do have a full-time regular job as well. So I usually create content as I'm on the go or during the weekend when I have time off and stuff like that. So, but I don't want to ever get to the point to where this is like a burden or where it becomes stressful for me to make content. I always want it to be fun and just something that I can do to be creative and to talk about things that I want to talk about, and to really just connect with other people who are, who have gone through similar things, and to just really be more open, be more just kind of putting myself out there and really expressing my opinions, my ideas and stuff like that, experiences. So yeah, y'all bear with me and we're gonna keep it rolling. So we just gonna jump right into it. Today I have a story time to tell y'all about my brother who is 3 years younger than me, and he is in prison. Okay, he's in prison for unaliving somebody. Okay, that sounds scary, and it really is. It was a big shock to the family when it happened. I was very sad, and that was short-lived just because of when I went back and I realized the type of person he was and what he was doing. I was like, oh, this really is not too surprising like we initially thought it was. So I just want to get into it because, some of the stuff that my brother has put me through is funny, but it's just like really concerning also as well. But I want to talk about it because I thought this specific story was funny. I did a short version of this on TikTok, and I wanted to kind of also come back and talk about it on my YouTube channel, just to kind of go into more detail about what happened. So like I said, my brother went to jail and it was really tough. At one point he was a lot closer to home, so we were able to go and visit him, and I would go and visit him. I would write him letters, and it wasn't as bad as it is now because we don't get to see him as much. They have moved him further away. And so in the beginning, a lot of stuff was happening. And one of the main things is I was coming up, like I said, I was going and visiting him. And so I was able to see him face to face, give him a hug, and we would talk, and I would bring money so he could, have snacks or we could eat together and stuff like that. And it just came to a point where I realized he hasn't changed. Well, at the time, like I said, he was in prison, in jail, and it was really close, so I could go and visit him almost every weekend. Of course I didn't visit him every weekend. It's my brother. Like, I would visit him every once in a while. And I remember he called me one day, or he texted me one day. I don't know how he got a cell phone. I don't know how he was able to contact me. I mean, I know a lot of things go on in the prison system. They're able to get things from the outside world inside the prison. And this is one of those moments where he tried to convince me to bring him a cell phone. Okay. And in the moment, I was just like, I almost actually kind of considered it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I thought about it, and I was just thinking like, this is the dumbest thing in the world. And so basically what he tried to do was he tried to set me up with one of his cellmate, and he sent me pictures on his phone, and then I think we may have started texting for a little bit. So like he had this whole plan, like, hey, I want to set you up with my cellmate. He wants to talk to you. And, of course I was single at the time and didn't really have friends like that. So I was kind of vulnerable. I'm sorry, I have to laugh because it's funny now just thinking about it. Like I was actually considering it. But so I was talking to this man, and they're trying to convince me to bring cell phones into the jail the next time I would visit my brother. And they had this whole idea like, oh, you could just go to get the cheap flip phone from like the dollar store, Dollar General, or Family Dollar. They have like the little cheap cell phones that you could buy from there. And so they're trying to convince me to go there and buy them a cell phone. So they had this whole idea that, when you're going into the prison system, they're patting you down. They're like searching you from head to toe. They want to see if you're wearing a hat, you got to take it off. If there's a woman there, she's patting you down. And then if you're a man, it's a man there to pat you down and make sure you don't have anything, any illegal weapons, anything that you could pass along, any drugs or anything like that. Money, even the money, like you couldn't even bring like actual dollars or like actual money. You had to get everything in quarters. Like you had to, so I would literally be bringing in like a bag full of quarters, like $20 worth of quarters. That's how you had to go in there. And so they're patting you down. And my brother was really trying to explain to me like, oh, you could put it, like he's trying to explain to me how to sneak them in. And he was like, oh, it's really easy. All you got to do is put it, I don't even know where he told me to put it, to be honest, because when I was thinking about it, I was like, no, that's not going to work, because I'm thinking about, how they pat you down and like the procedures of going through the security at the prison. And I'm just like, that's not going to work. Like, they're definitely going to get caught. I'm going to get caught, and then I'm going to be in jail with you. And I just wanted to tell this story because I was thinking, like, my brother really did not care about my freedom. Like, how can you sit here and try to convince me to bring you a cell phone into the jail, into the prison? I'm free. I haven't done anything to go to jail, but now you want me to risk my freedom to help you so you can have a cell phone?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Like, it was so crazy. I'm just like, wow, he really hasn't learned his lesson at all. He's sitting here wanting me to risk my freedom to help him bring in a cell phone, and then not on top of that, you trying to convince me by setting me up with one of your cellmates so he could smooth talk me into committing a crime to bring illegal objects into the prison. And then he was trying to say like, oh, when you come visit me, all you got to do is like put it in my pocket. You can slip it in my pocket. And I'm just like, you really sat here and thought through all of this. Like, the fact that you even think that I'm finna do this is crazy. Because ain't no way I'm finna risk going to jail to help you so you can have a cell phone. You already in jail. Like, you're not getting out anytime soon. And now you want me to risk my freedom to help you. That was very selfish. And, I remember telling my parents that he needs to be in jail. He doesn't need to get out because he hasn't learned his lesson yet. Like, the fact that he's still trying to do wrong while he's in prison says a lot. Like, you're not even trying to do the right thing. You're not trying to be on your best behavior to possibly get your sentence reduced or to get out on good behavior. Like, you're still doing conniving, manipulative things to have your way while you're in prison. And, my family, they feel a certain way when I speak about that, because I'm just like, they're like, that's your brother. You shouldn't think like that. Why do you say that? That's wrong. That's your family. And I'm like, I'm the type of person, when you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I am not one of those enablers that's going to tell you what you want to hear just because you my family, just because you somebody that you think we that close to where you think I'm going to enable you or take up for you when you're wrong. That's just not me. I'm going to keep it all the way 100. I'm going to always be straightforward and real about whatever the situation is. And that's one of those situations where, I've told my brother, like, you're not innocent. And we don't even talk now just because of I've come to that conclusion that he has not been able to take accountability for his actions, and I'm okay with that. I love him. I want, I pray that one day when he does get the opportunity to be released, that he has made changes in his thought process, in the way he thinks and behaves. But, I've just come to the realization that some people are just, it takes some people time before they realize that they need to start being mature and take accountability for their actions. So, yeah, y'all, I just want to give y'all a quick story time about how my brother tried to get me to bring him a cell phone to jail. Like, no, sir, we're not doing that. I'm not trying to go to jail. And yeah, I don't know. He's done some other stuff too, like getting money, people sending him money, and it's been such a journey with him. So I don't know. Have y'all ever dealt with anything like this? People that are in prison, do you know anybody that's in prison and they try to get you to do something illegal for them? So have y'all dealt with that before? Let me know in the comments, because I can't be the only one that's dealt with this. It's just a crazy situation to be in. But anyways, y'all have a blessed day.